Good morning. This is for Maria, a beginning guitar player. We've got two chords so far, and we're introducing a third chord. We started with the E minor, the A minor, and now we're going to introduce a D minor. To remind you, the thing about the E minor and A minor is you get to keep these two fingers together, so you kind of start teaching your hand to hold a pattern. And then you get to use the index finger when you're playing the E minor. Kind of see here what's happening. So I've got middle finger on the A string, and it really helps to know the names, what the notes are of the open. So the E, A, D, G, B, D for standard guitar tuning. It really helps to kind of orient yourself that way. Start building a vocabulary in your mind of how things fit together. So your middle finger, sorry about that, is playing on the A string, second fret. Remember, you're close to the fret. And the challenge here, and it's not easy at first, is to get your ring finger, right? Now it's the ring finger, on the D string close to the fret while you're also doing that. And notice what's happening to my hand in order to facilitate that. I'm rotating my wrist out a little bit, and it helps me tuck this finger underneath. And also remember, you need to be coming down at the strings. You need to be coming down. In a sense, if our hands were backwards, it'd be easier to play the guitar because it'd be easy to be coming straight down at the strings and so that the finger isn't in the way of playing the next string. So you want to be coming around the guitar as best you can. And you have to figure out how to find that position, right? One clear way to do it is to have your hand open. Remember, you don't want to be, the tendency is to do this, and you will see incredibly good guitar players doing that. Some people can get away with it. Their hands are large. They've got this great reach. But generally speaking, you want to have your thumb somewhere kind of in the middle, not over the top. Lots of people do that. It's great. You get to use your thumb to fret that, but as a general position, if you're down here, you've got a better reach. Okay, so we're on our way to the D minor chord. Okay, so just reminding you of this. Then you get to put the index finger down here on the first fret B string while you're still holding this, and that roots you, and then you get to take these two fingers and just slowly drop down to get that A minor. Very nice. Now, for here to the D minor, you're going to take this index finger again, move it down one more string. Now you're playing first fret E string. Now these two fingers here, they have to move, and they can't just come down here. That's a sour sound. But if they come down here, and then this finger has to reach out like that. There's your D minor. So your index finger is playing the first fret on the E string. Your third finger, your ring finger, is playing the third fret on the D. And that's a stretch that can be really difficult at first. And then your middle finger is playing the A on the G string. Now, when I started this, you might have noticed, I had what is called a capo. Now, I'm going to recommend that we have a capo for beginning guitar players because this D minor here is a lot easier than that one. The frets get closer together as you move up the neck of the guitar. So your fingers don't have to do as much of this. That makes learning this shape a lot easier. Now, later on, you'll have to learn how to take that shape and stretch it out. Now, the other thing that's happening when we're up here is the whole arm is just in an easier position. Now, that begs a question we've talked about in terms of holding the guitar. Like where you hold the guitar will matter a lot in terms of where the position your hand ends up in. I'm holding the guitar this way right now so that you can see it. So we're going to do again. We've got our capo here. Again, should get a capo. All right. And now we'll remind ourselves, this is a family of chords. By family of chords, I mean they fit together. They're going to fit together in the classic 1-4-5 pattern, with which you can play about 10,000 songs. Okay, maybe it's more like 150,000, but it's an awful lot of popular music is built on a 1-4-5 idea. So we're starting A, 1, B, C, D, 4, E5. So we got an A minor, D minor, E minor, and then back. So once you get this D minor, then we can do things A, D, E. It's lovely, just absolutely gorgeous sound. I love that D minor. So once you have this shape in your hand, and I'll remind you again, I think it's a really good idea to practice with just one hand. So you practice, say, the A minor, then moving to the D minor. Eventually you're going to want to be able to play an A minor and just go like this and find the D minor. But initially, it really helps to find a way to anchor your hand in one place. And there's a couple of ways to do that here. One is to recognize how close all of your fingers are to where they need to be. And one is you can take this finger here, the ring finger, it's currently on the G string, move it down to the B string and slide it up, and then rotate your hand around the rest of the position. So you can go like that and find your D minor shape. Another thing you can do is, as I talked earlier, take the index finger, which is currently playing first fret B string. I know when I say that stuff, that's all confusing right now. It'll eventually become second nature. So you're playing the first fret on the B string in your A minor. So you're playing an E, an A, and a C. Take the index finger, move it down to the E string, still on the first fret. Now you're anchored. So you've got home, and all your hand has to find this shape when you're already anchored, okay? So now you're working on this motion. So you're going A minor, and you're coming down D minor, D minor, A minor, A minor, D minor. Now this motion, teaching your hand to go from the A minor position, which is already kind of challenging. You have to tuck this finger underneath that other finger. That's hard to do, to rotate your arm up enough to get that shape, right? But notice what happens if I come down here and then I slide out. This is not an easy position to get. And, a couple of ways to do it is, one is to do it like a little bit like this, where I'm kind of sliding the hand sideways. But my hand's not really coming straight down. If your hands will allow it, having this, and what you want to work on in the end is having a nice clean sound. Because what's likely to happen at first is you're going to get this. One of two things is happening. Either I'm not fretting, I'm not pushing down hard enough. Actually, there's a couple of things that are going wrong. I might be too far away from the fret. I might be over the fret, kind of dull. I might be touching the string with another finger. There's a lot of things that can get in the way of that sound. So you have to, when you're not getting your sound, you have to kind of look at your hands and see if you can figure out what it is. Initially, it's probably that you're not pushing the string down hard enough in the correct spot. If you're too far away from the fret, you get that. Get up nice and close to the fret and press just hard enough to get the sound. You don't want to overpress. You'll be out of tune. It's too hard on your hands. You want to press just hard enough to get your sound. All right. There you go. 10 minutes just talking about your little D minor. Boy, but that sound. It's worth it. So stay with it.